the high seas. Pisces, cast my line, now they're biting. Yeah, rocky coasts and lighthouses. What she knows now, I doubt it. Talk to me nice. I think your confusion starts with street lights.
Hi everybody, welcome to your August 2018 readings with me. So I wanted to record a little bit of an intro video. I'm going to try my best not to make it too long, guys, but you know me, I love talking to you. So this month's videos are a bit different. I'm using my Triple Goddess Tarot deck, and I'm only using this except for in Gemini's video, because Gemini had the most views last month, so I did pull a few extra cards for the Gemini reading, but this is what the box looks like. A lot of people ask me about this deck. I got it at a spiritual shop in the mall, but very, very cool imagery, and I have never seen anyone else use it. So it's the Triple Goddess deck. If you want to look for the author, it's going to be listed in the description if you guys are interested in this tarot deck. I think it's a really nice deck. So anyways, guys, as far as the readings go this month, they're very intuitive. I don't have any kind of setup, which is kind of strange for me, especially when Virgo season is this close. I usually have some sort of more detailed layout, but I wanted to just flow. Another cool fact about this month's readings is that I'm using reversals. This deck is very, very cool for reversals because the back of the cards, no matter what way they're faced, they're the same imagery kind of. So I used reversals this month, which opened up a whole new can of worms, a whole new world. You know, I do reversals sometimes, but I've never really done them as far as my personal readings, or I've never done them in my monthly readings. But if a card comes out and it's reversed, of course I'm going to read it as reversed. But yeah, this time there's cards that are actually in reverse as I shuffle them in the deck, not that they just fall out and turn reverse themselves. So reversals this month, you guys, which is really unique because these cards have completely different meanings when they're in reverse. So I have opened up reversals for this month, so that's a cool fact. Other than that, I have a 6-card spread, basically the three cards for the first couple weeks of the month, and then 3 cards for the last couple weeks of the month. So yeah, guys, definitely interesting energy coming out so far for August. I have not recorded all the entire videos yet as I record this intro, but so far there's a lot of energy that I feel in the readings. There's a lot of hard messages coming out, and I think that's because this month is mainly experienced with the 7 planets retrograde. We have so many planets in retrograde pushing us to reflect on all these hard different areas of our life. Saturn's retrograde, Chiron, Neptune, I believe Mars, and I think Pluto's still retrograde, and Jupiter went direct and Venus went direct. So there you go. The only 2 planets that are direct right now are, oh, and Mercury's retrograde too, of course. Mercury is about to go direct though, guys, in a few days, around the 19th, I believe. So we'll have to get through the shadow period of that, but there is 7 planets retrograde with only 2 planets straight up, which is Venus and Jupiter. Oh, and Neptune's retrograde too. So there, I must have named all the planets now. The only 2 direct, as I've already mentioned, is Venus, who's in Libra. So as far as, you know, August goes, you guys, this is Virgo and Leo energy. Hopefully you like my little Leo theme here. I put on my cheetah bathing suit for the theme. So yeah, most of this month I believe belongs to Leo. I believe September is Virgo's month because we go into September in Virgo season. We go into August in Leo season. So as I've mentioned in my new moon video, there was an eclipse in Leo this month on the 11th. We've had 3 eclipses this month, you guys. 3, well, not this month, but we had eclipse in Cancer, lunar, solar, I think it was solar, lunar, solar. And as the Leo King mentioned, we have not had that happen since 2011, I believe, maybe 2009. It's been a few years. This is very rare for us to have 3 eclipses. Usually we only have 2. Sometimes we have 4, but 3 is very rare. So it's kind of like a trinity. If you ask me, I feel like Cancer, Aquarius, and Leo are up to something, since those were the 3 signs involved with the eclipse's energy. But yeah, guys, we just got through. As I record this, it's August 15th. We have gotten through the major eclipse energy, which is super sudden changes, new beginnings and endings. Eclipses can cause all these random energies in your life. Now, eclipses are cycles of 6, so these can affect us up to the six months. And we're dealing with the North Node in Leo and the South Node in Aquarius, which are going to be there until mid-November, I believe. So this is very much opening up, you know, doors to past lives, you guys, and things about the life we're about to enter. This is the North Node and the South Node. I'm going to have videos coming out about that. But guys, these eclipses fall on the North and South Node pathways. So, you know, the next series of eclipses we're going to have are going to be in Cancer and Capricorn. So Cancer, Capricorn, get ready for this eclipse energy, and for the moon's North and South nodes to enter your sign. So as I was saying, guys, this month is shared by Leo and Virgo energy. So Leo energy is all about, it's the 5th house, right? So we go into August with this 5th house energy of pleasure. Leo is all about pleasure. Leo is ruled by the sun. So for the first half of August, we are under the influence of the sun in integrity. The sun is very, very comfortable in Leo. The sun rules Leo, right? So this is about the center of our galaxy, the center of our universe, right? Who we are, almost like ego a little bit. We know like Leos are the prideful lions. So, you know, this is about who we really are. Leo is about authenticity. So this is about our heart's true desires, and this is the North Node, you guys. So this is the sun passing over the North Node. This is Mercury retrograde in Leo. You know, we had at one point around the 11th, we had the moon and the sun and Mercury in the North Node all together as a stellium. So Leo energy is very important. Leo energy has been important and will be important up until November. Leo energy is always important, but it's just really highlighted in our universe right now with the sun being there, ruling Leo, ruling awareness and happiness and warmth and light and the inner child and, you know, like I said, the heart. So, you know, this month is really about our heart's desires. And the new moon, which is one of the major things happening in this month in Leo, is very important for setting new intentions. I have a whole video about the new moon, so if you want to check that out, that's in my videos. But as far as August, guys, I just know that, you know, we had Venus and Virgo we went into August with Venus and Virgo, I believe. Venus just now entered Libra. It's going to be there for the all of August, and it will eventually move into Scorpio. Mercury is retrograde. Jupiter has went direct. All the retrogrades are really important for this month because, like I was mentioning, this is definitely things coming back up from the past. When we have 7 planets in retrograde, it's nearly, and this is retrograde city, just like the Leo King says. I've been watching him a lot lately. We have a full moon. Holy crap, can't forget to mention that, guys. I'm just trying to be a little bit brief here because I am making some changes that I'm going to talk to you about here in a bit. But there is a full moon in Pisces at the end of the month, guys. This is very important. I'm not going to talk too much about that right now because you know me, I'm always going to have videos for the Pisces full moon or for full moons and new moons and eclipses and stuff like that. So please keep an eye out for my Pisces full moon video where I'm going to pull a tarot card for all the 12 signs as far as guidance, and then, you know, I'll just channel some stuff about Pisces energy and the full moon energy. So yeah, guys, new moon in Leo this month, full moon in Pisces at the end of the month. Mercury retrograde, Venus and Virgo moved into Libra. Mars is moved into Capricorn, where it's exalted. Mars was in Aquarius. Mars was featured in that full moon eclipse in Aquarius last month. Now it's back in Capricorn, and it'll be there for a while, and then it'll go back into Aquarius. It'll head back into Aquarius as it goes back direct. And then, you know, Jupiter, I mentioned, is back direct, which is really awesome, in Scorpio energy. So this is definitely, you know, this is our fortune. This is expansion, moving forward now. It's always good to have a planet back. So there's going to be this Neptune and Jupiter trine going on this month too. That's another thing I wanted to mention is this month, especially in the beginning of the month, there was a lot of squares. Like if you guys watch the planets, if you deal with Planet Watcher, there was the sky you can actually pull up a picture of the sky, and the sky looked nuts. I mean, there was all these red lines and squares. Oh, it was definitely a nice visual of what actually is going on. Lots of squares. Squares are really, really harsh energies that You know, they just kind of, they need compromise. You need to meet halfway with squares. So we had a lot of squares, guys. And, you know, I'm sure we're all feeling this kind of jarring energy. We're feeling very, very conflicted and, you know, confused. But, you know, this energy is going to pass, you guys. Virgo energy is coming in this month, okay? So we're going to spend the first half of the month really assessing our true heart's desires, stepping into this the new version of ourselves that Leo is showing us. This has to do with our destiny and where we're going in life with the North Node. So you want to follow your true heart's direction. And then, you know, at the second half of the month, we move from this fifth house energy collectively to this sixth house energy, which is health. The health of our universe is going to come up. The lifestyle we're all living collectively, the service we offer others. This is Virgo. And Virgo is good with details, okay? Virgo is this earth energy. We haven't had earth energy since Taurus. So this has been a few months here without earth. So this is all going to ground, you know, the passion that we're feeling. And all, even some of us are feeling angry and just kind of wired and like, I don't know, jet-lagged, whatever you want to call it. Like we have all this energy, but no drive. But Mars is going to help with that. And then, you know, Virgo's going to come in and ground all this for us and logically analyze, you know, what's real about our lifestyle. I like Virgo. You know, I'm a Pisces. Virgo is my opposite sign. This is the seventh house for Pisces. And again, guys, in the videos, I'm going to be breaking down where Leo is for all of you guys independently and where Virgo is. So we've got fifth house and sixth house energy, which means we're experiencing the cusp of exposure this month. So the Leo Virgo cusp is the cusp of exposure. So this cusp is obviously going to expose some deep things about our lifestyle and about our pleasures and about maybe our hidden pleasures and how fun our lifestyles actually are or aren't. But the cusp of exposure can expose anything. You know, anytime anything moves from Leo to Virgo, it goes through the cusp of exposure. That might be something that you want to look up, especially if you're born around the 17th and the 25th of August. This is that really heavy exposure energy where things are going to come up to the surface and, you know, really weird times, you guys. But as a Pisces, my advice is always to go with the flow and, you know, to just kind of take it easy as the universe sorts some of this stuff out. Okay, the universe has gone through a lot of changes too. A lot of people don't realize that the universe has a body too, a mind, a heart, a head, a purpose, a desire. So these things are all working themselves out, as above, so below, the universe within us within the universe. So, you know, I think we should just look forward to some of the details becoming more grounded at the end of the month. And like I said, that cusp of exposure that the sun's going to go through and the moon, and, you know, the moon becoming full in Pisces at the end of the month, which wraps up our whole entire zodiac. And then we start fresh with a new full moon in Aries next month when Libra season comes in. You know, we're at August, guys. It's kind of nuts, but yeah, and also I just want to mention here before I end the video and head into the readings, guys, I think I'm going to start doing things a little bit differently. I'm not really sure if it's necessary anymore to have, you know, intros in my videos. I don't know, guys. I might record very short intros like, hey guys, welcome to your video, see you, bye. But as far as the astrology that I go into, I've had a lot of signs from my personal spirit guides to just kind of switch that up. I'll be able to get my videos out a lot earlier, a lot sooner. It's these intros that kind of, you know, keep me from having my videos out at the beginning of August. I always have my videos come out like end of the month, and it's like, why does anyone want to hear about August when, you know, my July videos were really late too. I didn't get many people watching those messages. So I think it's just best if I start recording my astrology videos separately. So for those of you who really like hearing about, you know, different planets and where those are at, I'm going to start uploading separate astrology videos about Jupiter and Neptune and Mercury and retrogrades and squares and all that. That way I can kind of fully focus on astrology in one area, and then I can focus on tarot here. So I think in September I'm really going to start that, guys, where when you click on my video, there's no longer an intro. You just get right in. And I'm going to try not to talk too much about astrology, because there's some people who really just don't have the time to listen to my videos for hours. All my videos are like hours long. So there is some changes coming to my channel, guys. And I just think that's for the best. But for those of you who really do like astrology, that's still going to be available for you. I'm still open for personal readings. Thank you so much to those who have donated and who have helped me out by just supporting my channel. As you guys know, some of you who have watched me for a while now, I don't work in the physical world as of right now. Who knows? I might in the future, but for a while now, I've just really been diving into my own creative, spiritual Pisces second house. My resources come from very spiritual things. So I just want to personally thank all of you who reach out to me and trust me with your spiritual guidance. It means the world to me. This is something I'm very passionate about. So thank you guys for watching, and those of you who have subscribed and supported me, it means so much. Welcome to all the new watchers, all the cross watchers, and people who are new watching for the first time. I hope you enjoy. And without further ado, let's jump into your personal readings, guys. Bye!
Hi Capricorn, welcome to your August 2018 reading with me. So before we begin the tarot, I just kind of want to go over, I'm not going to get into too much astrology because I'm really trying to, simmer that down. But there are some pretty keen things that we need to talk about astrology-wise, Capricorn. So August is all about Leo and Virgo. Leo and Virgo share August. So the first couple weeks of August are occupied by Leo energy, which to you is your 8th house. So, I had a Leo new moon video that I uploaded with messages for the 12 signs. And it was just really interesting to kind of, realize that Capricorn's 8th house is Leo on the zodiac wheel. So every Capricorn has an 8th house Leo collectively. Like, you might have a different 8th house in your chart as far as natally when you were born, but on the zodiac wheel, Leo is 8 signs away from you, and that makes it your 8th house. So what is the 8th house for some of us who don't know what that is? The 8th house is all about transformation, death and rebirth, and intimacy. It's all about shared resources. So, as an earth sign Capricorn, it's not really easy for you to share your resources because you work so hard at obtaining them. So it's really interesting, that the eighth house transit can kind of bring up stuff like that. Like, you could be really feeling like your resources don't entirely belong to you around this time. You could have been feeling that for the last month. So the end of July, moving into August. So this has a lot to do with transformation for you, Capricorn. I don't know if you've been feeling it. I've definitely been feeling it as a Capricorn rising. So I'm interested to see what comes up for us in this reading, because it's definitely going to apply to certain parts of me as well. Another interesting thing I realized, guys, is that, Capricorn has Pluto in their sign, making it even more transformative of a time, because Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. Scorpio is the 8th house. So even though it's Leo for you, Scorpio rules the 8th house traditionally, just like you rule the 10th house, right? So we've got this very scorpionic energy of purging and renewal and death and rebirth, endings and beginnings, and just kind of letting things die and shed away that no longer have life. And also shared resources at the same time. So sharing what you find, what you consider yours. And I'm not saying that you're selfish, Capricorn, but Capricorns work very hard for the money they make and for the house that they have and for anything that's considered yours, right? We already are ruled by Saturn, which is all about restrictions and boundaries. So we really do want to, set new boundaries right now. And it's all about reflecting on those boundaries with Saturn and Capricorn as well. Still, your ruling planet is in your sign, but it's retrograde. So I'm not sure if some of you have been feeling really stagnant and unable to move forward. I know some of us have kind of been feeling like that, because if there's anything worse than the restrictions of Saturn, it's when Saturn goes retrograde and starts restricting us even more, when time goes even slower, when we have to be even more patient and even more responsible about, the limitations and the boundaries that we're setting. So we've got Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn, which is directly saying that there's a lot of karmic cycles that we need to let complete now. And we also need to allow ourselves to become reborn into whatever's going on. But all Capricorns are transforming because they're going through this 8th house energy. And then I want to talk to you about Mars entering Capricorn too, because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. So you're very comfortable with Mars energy. If some of you are dealing with Aries, then you'll realize, while some of them can be very difficult, Aries ruling planet is Mars. So Mars and Capricorn kind of naturally get along, even though they square each other. They kind of naturally get along. Now, the only reason they wouldn't get along is if there's a fight over the empire. You know, Capricorn is a leader, Aries is a leader, and if you guys start fighting over the kingdom, then it can definitely get gnarly. But when a Capricorn and an Aries comes together and works on the same team, they're unstoppable. I mean, have you ever seen the Devil card and the Emperor card next to each other? It's very empowering and almost frightening. Like, you do not want to fuck with Mars and Capricorn energy combined. So if you have like a Capricorn rising with an Aries moon, you're going to understand this. If you have like a Capricorn moon or Aries, whatever. If there's Capricorn energy mixed is a force to be reckoned with, for sure. Some of you guys are going to resonate with that, for sure. But Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars is retrograde. All the planets in Capricorn are retrograde. So needless to say, there's a lot of reflecting going on. There's a lot of reevaluating and reviewing going on. Reviewing, you know, reviewing very deep subconscious things. Reviewing our karma, reviewing cycles, reviewing our time and our boundaries and our resources. And also reviewing our actions and our desires. So Mars, Pluto, and Saturn are all in Capricorn, and they are retrograde. So there's a lot of slow, like, restricted energy that Capricorn is fighting right now, because Capricorn's all about the future. So we don't like dealing with all that past shit, right? We don't like reflecting. Capricorn has no need to reflect. And that's why you handle business in the present moment, because what goes around comes around, right? So if you act right now, your future self will be good. That's a Capricornian thing. You're the 10th house of future goals and long-term, you know, ambitions. So why would you want to look backwards when you're climbing a mountain? Like, Capricorn is always, they're the mountain goat. So you're always climbing a mountain, and when it's dangerous to look backwards when you're like climbing a rocky mountain, you could potentially fall to your death. So, you know, there's something here about your stability and climbing obstacles in your way. You know, really just trying to stay patient. Capricorn, you're one of the most patient signs because you're ruled by Saturn. Saturn is definitely about time and karma and boundaries and doing things the right way, time in a timely fashion. So, you know, it comes with the Capricorn package to just kind of be patient and just kind of grounded and kind of, you know, just chill about things. You know what I'm saying? You're very stable and grounded and patient and logical, stuff like that. So please apply all those good traits of yourself to this time period, because there's a lot. There's 7 planets retrograde, including your ruling planet, which is currently in Capricorn for the next 3 to 4 years. So don't worry, guys. As time goes on, as we persevere through September, October, November, December, as we get so from now until Capricorn season, there's going to be a lot of planets that become online. Mercury being the first planet, which is, you know, going to be going direct tomorrow on the 19th. So that's going to be cool. That's going to be good to have Mercury direct. We've got Venus direct and Jupiter's direct. So these are some strong planets. But, you know, as far as everything else, we're going to have to really, you know, take this period of reflection with a grain of salt. You know, it's all to teach us something, Capricorn, and you understand karma. So, you know, in order to move forward, sometimes we really do have to reassess the steps that we've already taken. Sometimes we have to go backwards. So a lot of past stuff coming up here that needs to transform too. And lucky for you, the return of this earth energy is very close by. Because at the end of the month, after we go through this transformation at the end of July, beginning of August, around August 23rd, we're going to have the sun go into Virgo. So the sun in Virgo is your sister sign. So this is going to be that earthy energy that you're used to. It's going to definitely bring some change to your foundation. And this is going to be your 9th house. So Virgo season is a time for Capricorn to really learn certain things and to really expand, you know, their lifestyle and expand the service that they offer other people. And this is also the house of health, you know, so this is going to be you learning more about, you know, how to become healthier, learning more about the details that come with you and how you could be better service to other people. But the most important thing here is that this is grounded earth energy. Even though it's mutable, Virgo's mutable. So you are going to have to be a little bit more adaptable to your education and to, you know, the philosophy of your life, Capricorn. But for you, Virgo is a very comfortable energy for you. It's 9th house energy. So you're going to be learning a lot come the end of August going into September. Trust me, you're going to feel this grounded energy. We haven't had grounded energy since Taurus. So it's been a few months since we've had earth energy in the universe. And you're feeling pretty deprived of your foundation. You're feeling pretty deprived like all the earth signs are right now. But don't worry, this energy is going to become more analytical and more detailed like you like, and logical. It's going to become more logical and realistic at the end of this month, okay? So just hang on in there. Virgo is coming to the rescue for these earth energies. So that was a little bit about the month for you, Capricorn. So as far if you're ready, I'm ready. We talked about all the planets in your sign and stuff like that. So yeah, let's just get right down to business. The most important thing really is that Mars energy. You know, you really want to harness that Mars energy to give you the drive that you've been missing, to give you the passion for the desires that you have for your future and for your goals and stuff. So really good energy for Mars to be in Capricorn. So let's go ahead and start shuffling. I've already shuffled the cards. I am doing reversals this month, so there may be some cards that come up in reverse, but we're just going to focus on Capricorn energy for August 2018. First card out is the Ace of Cups in reverse. All right, with the Five of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So some of you guys could be feeling very left out in the cold emotionally, and maybe even fearing some sort of poverty or unemployment. Maybe there's some sort of link here to your finances in your relationships or something like that. And now we have the King of Swords in reverse. Some of you are dealing with Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energies. And if you are in a relationship with an air sign, there could definitely be something kind of going on there with the emotion involved. You know, earth and air, very platonic, logical signs. So, you know, as far as that Pisces, oh yeah, we didn't talk about the Pisces full moon. The Pisces full moon is your 6th house, I believe. Oh, hell no. It's your 3rd house. So, hell yeah, guys. There's a Pisces full moon message coming up here. Pisces is your 3rd house of communication. And the reason why Capricorn doesn't talk a lot is because Pisces is their 3rd house. The 3rd house is all about how you speak. It's all about your mind, right? So, little do people know, on the zodiac wheel, according to the universe, how things are set up. The 3rd house of Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Pisces is 3 houses away from you, so that's your 3rd house. So the way Capricorn thinks is very, very emotional. You guys think in it and you speak in a very spiritual way. That's why you hardly, if a Capricorn says something, it has meaning behind it. It has spiritual meaning behind it. A lot of people think Capricorn is just cold and heartless and not spiritual, very logical, just works all the time. But no, there's a lot of emotion that Capricorn has inside that they very seldomly speak on, because you have a very mysterious 3rd house of illusion. So you deal with a lot of illusions under the surface that you need to gain clarity about. So this 3rd house, the 3rd house is a great house to have as Pisces, because it means that you speak against illusion and that you have a mind. That the 3rd house is an air energy. So we do have the King of Swords here. And the King of Swords is a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, and they're in reverse, and so is the Ace of Cups. So some of you may be dealing with like the lack of a new love from an air sign, or maybe you're just like not really expressing your emotions to this air sign, or this air sign is not expressing their emotions to you. And there's something that you need to take a closer look at, especially if something's not getting off the ground with a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Because there's a new beginning here that's in the reverse. The Fool card is in reverse. So there's a risk that you don't want to take emotionally. Like, you know, Capricorn is all about that. Like, you guys set very, very strong boundaries for yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And you're all about respect. So come the end of the month on the 26th, when there's a full moon in your 3rd house, there is going to be certain things that need to be aired out communication-wise. So for you, communication and emotion are mixed, because you're an earth sign. So all earth signs have water signs as their 3rd houses. So you guys don't really like to communicate a lot, because communicating your feelings causes you to feel ungrounded. You see how that works there? So Virgo's 3rd house is Scorpio. You know, Taurus's 3rd house is Cancer. So all of you deal with emotional communication. Like, for some reason, have you ever noticed that? Like, when you try to talk, you start feeling all these feelings because you're finally outside of yourself, when usually you're so internal as an earth sign. So there's definitely a need here, Capricorn, because the Ace of Cups is not just a new love. The Ace of Cups is also emotion. It's a new beginning, but this is the reverse. So I wanted to pause here and talk a little bit about that Pisces full moon, but I am going to continue shuffling until we get your entire reading, so we can get the whole full picture and kind of, you know, approach this responsibly and intellectually, like we like to do, maturely, you know. But I just see off the rip that there's definitely some edgy energy that is causing Capricorn to feel very drained. And now we're earth signs, okay? So we don't really typically you know, way too much in on our emotion. Like, everybody has feelings though, especially earth signs. And earth signs have a lot of trouble expressing the way they feel some of the time because you guys are grounded energy. Water energy is opposite of you. So, you know, it's kind of interesting there how your third house is ruled by water, and then your subconscious, every earth sign has an air sign right behind them. Actually, you have an air sign in front of you. Like Taurus has Gemini in front of them, and Capricorn has Aquarius in front of them, and Virgo has Libra in front of them. So after Earth is always air, okay? So it's really interesting that we have air showing up here in the reverse. So there's something here about, you know, so you're not communicating with someone who doesn't value you. You know what I mean? You know how value is to us earth signs. So there's a need here to take a closer look at the value in a situation or lack thereof. So let's continue painting this picture for Capricorn energy. What's going on for Capricorn, the cardinal earth sign of our universe, the 10th house, for August 2018? What is the message for Capricorn for August 2018? August 2018, Capricorn. Let's just see what comes out for us, guys, and we'll take it from there, okay? August 2018. Oh, well, we just had the Ten of Swords show itself. So I know you're dealing with a lot of pain, Capricorn, underneath the surface, and you're so grounded, and you have so much integrity and responsibility that you're probably not talking to anybody. You're not fully expressing yourself to the people around you about what's going on inside, internally with you, you know. As a Capricorn rising, I totally understand and resonate with that. Now we have the Leo card coming out, a specific Leo message, a specific Scorpio. So this is definitely about having the strength to transform, Capricorn. Now remember, you have the 8th house stuff going on right now. So this is the 8th house showing up for you, that Scorpio energy. And now let me tell you, Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. And guess where Mars and Pluto are? In Capricorn. So this time right now is a very, you cannot escape transformation right now. So you might as well focus on the strength that it's going to take to allow some certain things to end and begin. And, you know, this might be a certain transformation that involves a Leo. You could be involved with a Scorpio and a Leo. You could have Scorpio and Leo energy. I'm not sure how this is going to play out for all of us, but there is a transformation here. Now, some of you could be dealing with sudden endings and beginnings with a Leo energy. There could be something here that's no longer alive. Now, it's interesting. We have this wolf here that looks about dead. So strength-wise, Capricorn, you could be feeling very, you know, kind of weak right now, you know, and you're never going to let anyone know that because a Capricorn is always going to persevere. It doesn't matter if you're tired and energyless, you're still going to get up and go to work. You're still going to climb that mountain. You're still going to be confident and responsible. You are a cardinal earth energy, meaning that you're always going to move forward physically at all costs. So there's a need here to definitely embody courage and strength when it comes to this 8th house energy, this very dark energy. It's a very hidden transformation going on here. Now, these are two fixed energies, Scorpio and Leo. And it's the 5th house and the 8th house. So this is about your happiness, Capricorn. This is about, you know, who you really are. And who you really are is transforming right now. You know, Leo season is all about transformation for Capricorn. We literally have Leo and Scorpio. And those two energies are mixed with you. Because as I was talking about in the beginning of the video, Leo is your 8th house. So we've got a Leo 8th house message here. And so, yeah, Leo season is all about death and transformation for you. You're being reborn. And, you know, it's all about taking a stand for yourself, Capricorn. Some of you may have small children. Now, Leo season is all about children. Leos are the children of the zodiac. So that little boy peeking out behind you, it could be a son or a little brother or someone smaller or younger than you that you're trying to defend too. But for those of us who don't have children or who don't have any, you know, this could be our inner child. Some of us are finally standing up. This is you taking a stand. And, you know, there is competition here. There are people below you that are trying to definitely hurt you and knock you down off of the mountain that you've climbed. But look how Mars is helping you. You know, this is Mars energy. Like, I will fight back. I will be a warrior for my legacy. And you are not going to take me down. Not me or this little child behind me. Not me or my son or my little brother or the child inside me. For most of us, like for a good handful of us, this is you fighting for the passions of your heart. You know, you take it standing up. So it could be that might be what's transforming in you. This reminds me of what I said to Capricorn in my new moon video for Leo. Or maybe I said it to Capricorn in another one of my videos, but you know, the fact that your 8th house is Leo, this means that you deal a lot with hidden happiness. You take a house like Leo that's ruled by the sun, and that means ego, and it means children, it means pleasure. This is the 5th house of pleasure that we're all experiencing at the first half of August. And you take that, and then you see where that house is for all the signs, and then you kind of get a better idea of how they deal with happiness, how they deal with the sunlight, how they deal with the children, and how they deal with their own pleasures. For us, Capricorn, it's in our 8th house. So this is a hidden energy. So that's why Capricorn, you know, we don't really like, we don't really express ourselves that much. We're kind of monotone. You know, Capricorns just kind of have a straight face. We look really dry and bland and kind of like, you know, it's kind of hard to tell how a Capricorn is feeling. You know, you guys, we barely smile. You know, there's this joke in astrology that Capricorns don't cry or laugh or anything. It's just kind of, you know, we're always in this deep contemplation energy of responsibility. Like, we never ever feel like we're not responsible for something. That is the Capricornian way. But for Leo, being your 8th house, this means that there's a child in you that has been hidden for a long time. And this is something I channeled for Capricorn before, that if Leo is your 8th house, then this means that the inner child in you died a long time ago. You know, your happiness can sometimes seem dead. It can sometimes seem like you hide it or like it's dark, because this is the 8th house. When Leo energy, when you have a Leo 8th house, which sometimes Capricorn risings do. So if you have a Leo 8th house, this applies to anybody with a Leo 8th house. You are meant to light up the dark. We've got the house of the sun, this fire energy mixing with this dark transformative. So this is transforming darkness into light. So I don't know how that's going to resonate with all of you, but you really do need to find that inner child in you. I know you guys, Capricorn, a lot of Capricorns I know grew up very early. You know, you guys were responsible for things, you know, at very early ages. Very early ages. Started working, started taking on responsibility in the home and in your world financially very early on. So the inner child in you, your Leo energy, your Leo house becomes tainted with darkness. Your innocence is corrupted very early on, and you grow up way too fast, you know. But that's why Capricorn is a wise soul. That's why Capricorn is so mature and responsible. That's why Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and they know how to set boundaries, and this is why. But in the mix of all that, the emotion winds up, you know, kind of getting lost in the mix. It kind of gets lost in that darkness. So there is a need in August and in Leo. Every Leo season, Capricorn has the opportunity to transform back into the inner child. And why would you want to do that, Capricorn? Well, because the inner child in us knows our true passions and desires. You know, when we were kids, we knew exactly what we wanted and we went after it, right? When we were kids, there was an innocence there. There was purity there. There was just literal happiness and just literal frolic, you know. And I know Capricorn isn't all about that, the frolic, but this is about you taking a stand for the more innocent side of you. You know, you're standing up for some sort of child, whether that's you or a child involved or something. It's going to be different for all of us. But this message reminded me of what I've been talking to Capricorn about. You know, about you having the strength, you know, to be down when you're down. For you to, this is a very emotional house, the 8th house. It's very intimate. So you might be dealing with certain intimacy, you know. Capricorns can be very defensive, you know. We don't like to let people in because sometimes that's not the most responsible thing to do. But it's becoming less about what we need to be responsible about, and it's becoming more about, you know, reflecting internally about what needs to be purified and what needs to be, you know, accessed in the emotional realm too. So we do have endings and beginnings here in the need to be strong enough to stand up to end certain things and to fight for this new beginning or to fight for this transformation. And then we have the High Priestess, letting me know even more so that this has to do with our intuition. It has to do with our internal energy. The High Priestess is visiting you this month, Capricorn, to tell you that there's an all-knowing energy here. Now, there are certain secrets coming up. When you go through the 8th house of Scorpio is definitely about secrets and hidden information. We've got a Pisces full moon this month, so there's a lot of energy here about stuff coming to the surface. Maybe there's some things you come to the truth about. Maybe you tell a couple people's secrets or something, but there's definitely a secretive energy that you're involved in this month, Capricorn, because of that hidden energy. You know, so there's like secrets from your childhood that might rise back up, or things from your childhood that might come back up that you need to fight, you know. things you fought back when you were a kid, things that happened to you behind the scenes when you were a child that are coming back up, that need to be transformed and purged, right? This could be a sexual energy for some of you, because the 8th house is about sex. You know, it is all about passion and intimacy and shared resources. So the High Priestess to me is that all-knowing energy. She's a very quiet energy. And when we go through 8th house energy, it is about being quiet. You know, Scorpios are very, very quiet. They're very, very secretive and mysterious. So there's a mysterious energy here. And it's also an intuitive, internal energy. So there's something here about your intuition. You know, you're going through 8th house energy, so there is an intuition here. And now we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. We have the King and the Queen of Swords showing up. So there's some air signs in our life right now that might not be, you know, going too well with us. You know, or there might be just people in our life that aren't speaking their truth. With this card, there's a person here that there's a mask, right? This is kind of some kind of theatrical show. So I don't know if there's some sort of person in your life that's putting on some kind of show that you don't want to watch no more. You know, off with the mask. Don't try to play me for no fool type of thing, because this is all about clarity. And right now, Capricorn, there's something that you're not gaining clarity about, because we have two kings and queens that represent truth, clarity in our mind that is not on the upright. This is in reverse. So there's some sort of truth coming out, or some sort of mask that needs to be cut off of somebody. Something's in disguise. You know, we're no longer hanging on to this though. And you know, this might have to do with communication. There, you know, I was just gonna say, Scorpio, the 8th house, the High Priestess, all these energies are telling me that there's a lot that is going on inside of Capricorn that they may not be willing to express right now. You know, you guys are not, if Capricorn were to express themselves right now, we would hurt so many feelings. So there's things that you're holding back on. There's some truths that you are holding back on, because it's because you know that there's people around you that don't have the integrity to handle it. They don't have, their ego won't be able to handle it. But we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. This is you feeling like you want to release something, even if it's a financial, if it's a resource, because we do have the shared resources energy coming up here. You know, maybe you're this 8th house. The 8th house, it makes you have to share what is yours. You know, the 2nd house, which is opposite of the 8th house, that is when you get to keep things. That's when all your resources belong to you, that Taurus energy. But the opposite of that is Scorpio, which means, okay, I'm going to have to share a little bit of this. So right now, Capricorn is in an environment where you're very much sharing physical things that you work very hard for. And that might be contributing to the lack of victory that you're feeling. And, you know, there's a missed opportunity for victory. And it might be with a fire sign. But that little message was coming out there, Capricorn. So I want to get back shuffling now to finish your reading. But all of that might come to the surface at the end of this month. But I just feel like there's a secretive energy with you, you know, in August, because you're going through 8th house stuff. And it's like there's going to be certain secrets that you learn about because you're going through 8th house and 9th house stuff. So as you transform at the beginning of the month, the end of the month is going to be more about you learning about these secrets, you learning more and expanding further beyond, you know, right now, just know that you're transforming to get ready for something that you're about to come to awareness about. That's why we go through the 8th house before we go through the 9th house. Now we have the Judgment in reverse. So I did pick up on a Judgment energy earlier because of Pluto. This is a Pluto energy, and Pluto's in retrograde. So Pluto retrograde is coming up directly for us, Capricorn. And that has some sort of, that has something to do with the lack of clarity we have right now. Because there's the retrograde energy. We have to reflect right now on how pure or how not pure things are. And there's some sort of, this could have to do with a Libra, because the bottom of the deck right now is, yeah, this was definitely for you, Capricorn. I'm glad I'm following my intuition. Now, some of you guys, I don't know if there's someone pregnant involved or if there's a significant Aries going on here, because we have two Aries cards, and we have the Emperor and the Empress. So this is like a mother energy and a father energy. This is definitely an authoritative energy. But I want you guys to really think about your mother's energy and your father's energy, because when the Empress and the Emperor are together in a tarot reading, this is a union. This is a relationship. The Emperor and the Empress are dating, you know, but they're both in reverse. And remember, we just had the King and the Queen of Swords come out too, and they're in a relationship too, but they're in reverse. So there's a relationship here that's kind of in reverse. You know, you went through 7th house energy back in Cancer season. So last month was all about the relationships for you. You went through that eclipse in your 7th house. So I don't know if there were certain things that were kind of brought to light in our relationships. And now that we've moved to the 8th house, there's a need to transform that. There's a need to take your power back. There's a need to kind of take your authority back, Capricorn. You know how authority is with you and how power is with you, okay? This is an Aries, and I did mention Aries for your reading. So some of you are dealing with Aries or Libra or Taurus, okay? And we do have 2 Libra cards and 2 Aries cards. Some of you are dealing with Aries or Libra. Now, also with the Emperor here, though, we do have a pregnant woman. So I don't know if there's a fertile energy, if you're pregnant, Capricorn, or if someone else is pregnant. But if so, this doesn't really look like you're feeling really in authority. You're not, you know, you don't really feel very empowered in this fragile state. Now, the Empress, for those of you who are not pregnant or who have not impregnated someone else, this is an energy of birth, right? Now, 8th house is death and rebirth. So there could be something here that we need to give birth to, Capricorn, but this is about our power. This is about our authority. So there's something here that you need to take your power back from in order to become reborn, you know, in order to feel abundant, in order for this new beginning. So we definitely have the Empress and the Emperor there, which is father and mother energy. But this energy is interesting, and it's directly for you, Capricorn, because we have you right here at the end of the reading. Right here is the Capricorn card, the Devil card. So that's your energy, or it could either be a toxic energy. We'll see what this is saying. But this is your reading, and this is just something extra coming out for some of you. So we've got the 8 of Wands here. The 8 of Wands is focused energy. Okay, these are all arrows being shot in the same direction. So there's a hyper focus going on here. Some of you are really focused on justice and balance. You know, some of you are really focused on things being fair and things being kind of equal, right? Now, this is a message that usually is coming in. The 8 of Wands is usually some sort of message, whether it's a text message or an email or a word of mouth. But there could be some sort of communication. Now, all this came out in regards to the Judgment card in reverse. So this might have to do with a second chance that you're no longer interested in. Or this might have to do with something that is dead for sure. When the Judgment's in reverse, when Pluto's in retrograde, like, if you die, you die. And, you know, I kind of channeled something about that earlier about, you know, because I found out that my mom died and my mom had a Capricorn rising. So my mom died during Pluto retrograde, and I kind of felt like if people die during a Pluto retrograde, that reincarnation is almost guaranteed, because you died when Pluto wasn't even direct. But now it's interesting that that's coming up, because I'm channeling from the Judgment card in reverse, which is Pluto, that if what's dead should stay dead. And this is coming up for you, Capricorn, because you're going through the house of death. Like, when you go through the 8th house, which is Leo for you, you can't escape death. So it's time to really, you know, meet death in person, which I should have talked to you about when we seen the Scorpio card, because we literally had death in that card. So the Grim Reaper is murking about, and he's here to collect all of the things that are dead. You know, we don't need to be carrying dead weight. So yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But back to this 8 of Wands, there's definitely some sort of message that you're either wanting. Maybe this is you messaging somebody else. This is some kind of message coming in. It could be from the universe. We've got this black crow there. Okay, but this woman has a piece of paper in her hand. So this is also symbolic for forward movement too. So I don't know if this has to do with a Libra, but there is a Libra here. This is the Justice card, and it is right side up. So for you, Capricorn, Libra is showing up right side up. But I'm telling you, this Libra has showed up in certain people's reading this month, and they are in reverse. But for you, there's a Libra that is right side up, meaning that you're dealing with them eye to eye, even though they're blind here. There's something here not being seen. But at the same time, Capricorn, if you're not dealing with a Libra energy, then this could just be justice. This could be karmic. This could be balance. This could be fairness. This is about you wanting emotional justice, because in this deck, the Libra card, the Justice card, is this balance scale, and it's raised to this full moon. You see that full moon back there? So there's a need really to balance your emotion this month, and to balance your intuition. This might be the Pisces full moon. Some of you might not want a second chance with a Libra because things weren't balanced. Things weren't fair. There's something dead here. The balance is dead. You know, there needs to be something. I don't know if there's a Libra that's going to be reaching out to you this month about something, or if they're going to express themselves through some sort of message. But for you, Capricorn, this is the need to really allow certain cycles to complete emotionally, especially when it comes to the way you're communicating at the end of the month with that Pisces full moon. There may be something that you're blinding yourself to. When I see this card and I see that this woman is blindfolded, it's like you know, legally blind. Like I just channeled something about legally blind, or like you know, balancing something without the need to see it. Because like maybe there's something here about balance that you're not seeing. Like maybe some of you don't feel balanced with a Libra, or with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. So you don't want to blind yourself to the injustices going on, Capricorn. It's very important that you're seeing justice, because this is another karmic card, and Saturn is the Lord of karma. So, you know, as a Capricorn ruled by Saturn, karma is very important to you. What goes around will definitely come back around. So this is about you kind of speaking your truth about what you feel as far as balance. Now, this could just be you balancing your emotions too. Balancing the unseen. Now, this is another intuitive, secretive energy though, because we have that full moon there. So there could be some secrets with this Libra. There could be something hidden about you know, these scales here. And like, I like that she has a sword though, because what's done in the dark will come to the light, and truth is going to come out. Hopefully it's not a truth about some sort of third party situation, because we do have 3 cups here. And when I see the 3 of Cups, yes, the 3 of Cups does mean socializing. It does mean, you know, going out, drinking with your friends, celebrating something. But Capricorn, you ain't going through your birthday right now, and you're not going through an 11th house transit. So to me, this is like, I don't know if there is something that you need to celebrate with a Libra this month, or if you're celebrating something with an air sign. We have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius here. You could be just celebrating some sort of mental victory as well. But what I'm really feeling here, Capricorn, is that there's something going on here emotionally with 3 different people. Because we've got 3 women. And I don't like this card, because I really do feel that this is a third party. Because we have 3 women here, and now the blue and the green. Now, to me, sometimes this can mean an air sign, an earth sign, and a water sign. It doesn't have to be that way for all of you. Some of you are going to be in third parties with fire signs and air signs. But I do see a significant Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. For some of you, this is going to be your emotion, your foundation, and your thoughts, because we have air, earth, and water. So there might be some trine going on there. So you might want to do some reflecting on what you think and what's real to you and what you feel. But if there's an air sign involved, for some of you, I want you to keep a close eye on what this air sign is doing. Because the air sign is low-key with a water sign. And the water sign is low-key with you, Capricorn. Or you could be any of these 3 people. It depends on if you're being more of the emotional, or if you're just, you know, this might be you, Capricorn. Focus on your purity. I actually do. I think either this is you or this is you. So if some of you are going to resonate with this woman, you're taking your cup away from these 2. Now, this could be a friendship for some of you, but for some of you, you might even be involved in like third party. Like some of you could be in polyamorous relationships where there's 3 or more people, you know, in a relationship. I don't judge. I have friends that are in 3-way relationships like that. It works for some people. But in this relationship, somebody's holding out on their emotion and actually connecting with someone else emotionally. You see how this is a water sign that somebody's connecting with, and then I don't like this. It looks shady. And then we have this earth sign here, or somebody that's grounded in the situation. Like these 2 women are toasting to each other, but why is this woman holding her cup back? So there's someone in the situation that's taking their cup away. This could be you, Capricorn, taking your cup away and you know, connecting with someone else emotionally silently. This is about your emotional connections with your friendships and in your relationships. It very much is. Somebody in the situation is, there's 3 people, there's 3 things, there's 3 different emotions or something. And I think it's significant that this woman has her cup, she's kind of taking her cup away from the situation. So this could just be you, you know, not really feeling like celebrating this month, Capricorn, or not really wanting to participate in the drinking or the drunken stupor going on. Or, you know, this might be you realizing that there's fake friends in your environment, or that there's, you know, that there's something going on in this relationship. You know, you're not a fool. And it could definitely involve a Libra or a Gemini or an Aquarius. Or there needs to be justice and balance in this situation. And it's not fair, balance, or justice if someone's taking their cup away like that. Also, this is someone who's blindfolded, so you might not see the injustices going on. Some of you might not see that there's a third party in your relationship. Some of you might not see that there's an emotional injustice. Like, I think some of you are blind to the way that you feel. You know, in both of these cards, there's basically there's something that's not balanced emotionally, for sure. And it might be because there's extra people involved in this situation emotionally, you know, like either friends or people. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm not really sure if there's just something going on as far as the balance in a third party like that, or if it's a relationship. But there's something that's not being seen emotionally though. And the next card after that is the Knight of Swords. Okay, so the Knight of Swords, any knight in the tarot deck is talking about forward movement. It's talking about action. So there's something here that you want to take mental action on. Now, we don't want to forget that Libra is the cardinal air sign. So we've got two cards here that talk about cardinal action. And now you are a cardinal sign, Capricorn, so action is really important to you. And you're also a very logically grounded person. So your mentality and your mental is very important, you know, and you want to move forward with that. With you, it's always about moving forward and persevering, right? And Mercury's in retrograde. So there might be, you know, there might be some obstacles here that you have to fight before you can move forward or before you can take action. But going back to this kind of sequence here, after, you know, these three cards that we've already talked about, the Knight of Swords is very fast movement forward. And the Knight of Swords also, you know, he really doesn't care about the consequences ahead of him. He's got his sword drawn. He's going to speak his truth. It's going to be very quickly. It's going to be a quick truth. And I'm not really sure if this is in regard to this third party or to this. Maybe you guys are celebrating, excuse me. Maybe you guys are celebrating, this is going to be different for all of you. Some of you are celebrating the fact that you can finally move forward mentally. And that might be for why this air sign is like, I feel like mentally, Capricorn, you're really pulling yourself back. And I know that's true because we have the Queen of Swords up here and you're reading in the reverse. So you just might not be communicating your thoughts or emotions around this time. And that might be why you're pretending to be blind to certain things because, you know, but you're not no fool, Cap. Like, you literally know what's going on under the surface here. Some of you know there's a third party on your behalf or someone else's behalf. So I don't know if you're celebrating finally being able to move forward mentally. I know a lot of Capricorns have been dealing with, you know, stagnance and not being able to move forward. And this could definitely be a significant Gemini as well for some of you. But the Knight of Swords, like I was saying, he just charges forward. He doesn't give a shit, you know, really what the consequences are going to be because there's been too much injustice here. And this all has to do with some sort of message coming in very fast. This is a very fast message. We've got two cards here that talk about speed. So if you are dealing with stagnance or just feeling like you can't move forward, I feel like that's about to change, especially mentally, Capricorn. I know you're about physical movement, but right now, physical movement is very slow. You know, physical proof is coming in very slowly. Right now is a time to move forward mentally and internally and emotionally. And I know this was a message for you because we have the Devil card here. This is your ruling card. And this card's a lot more, you know, embracing than the card in the Rider-Waite tarot deck because it's not all scary. You know, the Devil card is very, very misunderstood. This card talks about, well, it's you. So I'm going to talk about it a little differently with you. I always talk to Capricorn differently about the Devil card. Because you guys, this energy means something different. When this card shows up for you, it means something different. It doesn't always mean manipulation or toxicity or, you know, codependency or whatever. Now, those things are definitely things that you guys want to think about, especially when it comes to this air sign, because there could definitely be toxic stuff mentally. So be careful of intoxication, like mental toxicity, or just toxic communication with people, places, and things, or just toxic in your mind. I'm not sure if it means that, Capricorn, but in this card we have this woman here, and we have her walking away. So I feel like Capricorn is walking away from an air sign this month. They're walking away from third parties, walking away from injustices, you know, and really starting to express yourself quickly. You might get some sort of message about something that frees you from the situation. There might be a message of justice here where you get some sort of message back about a job, and this just kind of takes you away from this. Somebody's leaving some sort of situation. And it might involve a Libra, it might involve a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Could involve a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or an air sign. So we have all the elements here. It's interesting to see how this can kind of play out. I do see a lot of you dealing with water, air, and earth specifically. But there's also some sort of fire here, which might mean expression. But the devil card in this deck, it's way different than the devil card in the other deck. This woman here, you know, I'm still trying to analyze the devil card here as she comes out in readings for me in this deck, and it always gives me a certain energy. But for me, lately, it's been really giving me a walking away energy. So you could be walking away, or you might need to walk away from toxicity, toxic relationships. Remember, all things can be toxic. You know, there's mental toxicity, there's emotional toxicity, there's physical toxicity, financial you know, and as a Capricorn, you guys specialize in toxicity because you are the devil card. You know, obviously you guys resonate with these energies, and you're able to, you know, kind of handle these energies better than what someone else might, Capricorn energy. So what I'm going to say is what I've already told you guys in the past, is that Capricorns can actually stay in toxic situations for longer than what they should, longer than what other people are willing to, because you can deal with change. Like, come on now, you're ruled by Saturn. So Capricorns can deal with restriction. You can deal with limitations. You guys are mountain goats. So you approach everything like a mountain that needs to be climbed. So, you know, you have a lot of energy to kind of, you know, meet things with responsibility. You take responsibility about things. So there's something here about, you know, you walking away from things that are beneath you. But you definitely want to remain open to feeling, because, you know, the devil card, it does mean you, Capricorn. It could mean lust or passion or something like that. But I just see you walking away. And it could be from an air sign, water sign, Libra. It could be from a fire sign. It's just something that's toxic. Now, there is this little home in the background. So some of you could be walking away from things that are toxic in your home environment. She has this little path here. So for some of you, you need to hear that it is okay to walk away from a home environment that's too small for you. You've outgrown your environment. It's too toxic. You know, toxic doesn't have to mean this evil thing. It just means something that's bad for you. You know what I mean? Like, snakes aren't evil, but when they bite you, they can actually kill you. You know what I mean? So, sorry, my alarm. So yeah, that's a good example. You know, I don't want you to, I mean, I think you guys understand toxicity, but I don't know if everybody else does. Like, I don't really know if people really think about what toxicity really means, you know, as far as, it doesn't have to be something so evil. It could be the smallest thing, you know. It could be the smallest thing that's toxic for us. And it's nobody's fault or anything like that. It's just no longer good for you, Capricorn. So I know you're an earth sign, and you know, there's no best way to say this, but as an earth sign, you work hard for your money. You do a lot of working. So the materialistic things that you gain from your finances, you know, that's very important to Capricorn. All the Capricorns I know, it's not that they're boastful or anything, but they definitely like to show off, you know, the nice things that they're able to get. And it's because as a kid you didn't have that. You know, you work really hard for what you get, so you might as well, you know, look good and feel good. You guys like want the best of the best because you guys are achievers. You know, that's a very Capricorn word, achievement. So I don't want you to feel bad for wanting better. You know what I mean? I don't want you to feel bad for like walking away from something that, honestly, it was just beneath you. And then, you know, this all has to do with some sort of lack of power. So there's a couple different things here. Either this emperor is losing power over you, or you are, you know, you are feeling powerless. So, you know, it's going to apply to different people, but there's a lot of messages coming up here. This could be a significant Aries. Also, remember, there's Libra and Taurus showing up here too. Or it could be your father figure for some of you, or if you are a father, or it's just some sort of authority in your life that is losing the ability to manipulate you, probably because you walk away. But for others of you, this is definitely a sign that you're not feeling very empowered, because when the emperor is in reverse, the meaning of him upright no longer applies. And you see how he's calling the shots here? This emperor, he's like definitely commanding. He's a commander-in-chief. He's the emperor. He's a very authoritative energy, a boss figure, something like that. Some of you guys, there might be a boss in your life or something, someone that thinks they have more authority, or you might be a boss that's losing authority, something. But I really don't feel that way, Capricorn. I just feel like some of you really do need to take your power back from this person, place, or thing. And that's directly, yeah, definitely, because I just tried to put that right side up when it's in reverse. So I'm not sure if that does mean that hopefully it means that you're gaining your power back as other people are. So when you take your power back, someone in the situation loses power, right? That's just the straight up devil card energy. It's all about, it's like a power play. That's what I just picked up on. It's like a power play that needs to really, really balance out. So apparently that all had something to do with these 3 cards on the table, or judgment. So let's keep on going here and see what the end of the month looks like, because this is basically the beginning of the month. This could be any time of the month. Like, you could experience some of this stuff at the end of the month too, but just for how I'm reading this month, this could definitely be, because we're going to get 3 more cards, and it could definitely be the first couple weeks of August, and then this could be the second half of the month. I did just take a glance down at my cards, and I seen the World card. That's definitely a Saturnian energy. That's definitely Saturn. Okay, let's see here. I thought for a second there that we might have had the rest of the reading. We do have the Hermit, the 9 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands in reverse. So this looks like some other kind of message coming out for you guys. This might be about isolation or soul searching. Some of you could be dealing with a specific Virgo. But the Hermit card does talk about, you know, alone time, being in your own solitude and isolating yourself. But in this card, this is someone who's walking into a dark cave. So this talks about being your own light in times of darkness. Like, if you're headed into something that's unknown in August, Capricorn, then, you know, you don't have to look to anybody else outside of you to light your way. Like, you can be confident enough to light your own way by soul searching on your, you know, reflecting on your own light. Could be a Virgo though. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So some of you guys are coming out of, maybe you're coming out of isolation because there's someone who's no longer single. Could be a Virgo who's no longer single, because this is the single person card. You know, it's also the gilded cage, like having everything you need materialistically wise, but still being in a prison. You know, like, I don't care if you live in a mansion. If the doors are locked to that mansion, it's a prison. So, you know, it doesn't matter how comfortable you are financially in a place or with a person. If you feel like you're in a cage, you're in a cage. So you could definitely be, you know, releasing yourself from some sort of financial prison. I do see, you know, the doors to this cage being opened, which this is resonating a bit with the Sagittarius reading now. So if you do feel imprisoned or trapped financially, you could be coming out of that. Now, this is not a bad card to come up right side up. Now, upside down, to me, what's channeled immediately is just someone coming out of a period of being single. Like, some of you guys could be definitely with Virgo energy, or just isolating yourself even though you're not single, you know. Probably because you're just focused on your work, because we have the 3 of Pentacles, and you know how it is with earth signs. Like, earth signs are very focused on their work and focused on their foundation, and, you know, if you don't have anything to show for your hard work, then that's really going to affect an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So we have the 3 of Pentacles here talking about teamwork. So there's something about this situation that's definitely has a message here about working together as a team, you know. And there's some financial energy coming up here, Capricorn. It might involve a Virgo. It might involve an Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or a Taurus. Because I do see earth energy here. But, you know, when the 3 of Pentacles comes up, it does bring up work. It's interesting that we have Virgo and the 3 of Pentacles, because both of these cards talk about your work and your lifestyle. But there's a need to work together and potentially be of service. But there could be something here with a fire sign. You know, there might be a fire sign that there's something about a single fire sign or a single Virgo or someone who's isolating themselves, even though, you know, they're no longer taken. But there needs to be some teamwork about this. And now this might be all about some kind of secret that comes to, you know, that's revealed. Because now we have the High Priestess. And I don't like to call the High Priestess, you know, this is one of my favorite cards. To me, she's way more beautiful than what most people see her. You know, people see the High Priestess, they're like, oh, secrets, you know, lies. I don't like to see her like that. This is an intuitive energy. But to be honest, with the Queen of Swords behind her, and the fact that in this picture there's a mask being cut off, like, there really might be some truth that comes out with some of you guys this month, whether it's your truth or the truth of another person. Like, you know, you're going through 8th house energy, so it's really hard to hide from people who are going through transformation, because you're already in the dark. So you're not afraid of the dark, so it's not like you can hide anything from me. You know what I mean? And you're definitely not afraid of the dark, because you're heading into that. dark cave. So this is you heading into that darkness, you know, coming out of, like, it's like there's a weird energy here about you being in isolation but not being in isolation, because there's people around you that you need to work with, but you still feel isolated and almost alone. But going back to this High Priestess, there's definitely something that you're aware of, even though there's no communication about it. This Queen of Swords has showed up twice for you now, and this is matching that King of Swords down here, but it's in reverse. Definitely coming out of a time of despair and sadness. Upright, the Five of Cups is despair and sadness. Reversed, you're coming out of that. You're no longer focusing on that third party that dumped over. You're no longer focusing on the emotion that you may or may have not lost. And, you know, this has to definitely do with a lover. This could be a Gemini for some of you. Maybe this has to do with a decision that you had to make in a relationship, or with some sort of union that you were no longer feeling happy in, you know. It could have to do with the Taurus, because we have the Hierophant here in reverse. So Taurus has come up a bunch. So there is that little message here too. So the cards that come out next are going to be the cards that I put on the table for you. But that Virgo, that Hermit, just wanted to come out again. So there is something here about either a Virgo or maybe Virgo season. I didn't think about that. Oh, the Six of Wands just came out in reverse too. So you might not be feeling very victorious. We have the Scorpio card very, very appropriately coming out for Capricorn this month. And with you at the bottom of the deck, the King of Pentacles, you know. So I think you're just really focused this month. And you could even be like kind of in deep contemplation about things, you know. But yeah, definitely something here about Virgo season, especially towards the end of the month when it is Virgo season. Like that could just be when you guys come out of isolation, or when you go into isolation. But there's something there about that Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So I don't know, that might be, I didn't realize it, but the Nine of Pentacles can sometimes be that you don't feel like you have enough resources. It doesn't have to be the single woman card. Like obviously you're in a relationship and you don't feel like you have your own finances. So I didn't really channel that before, but it's coming to me now. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse is definitely feeling like you don't have your own abundance. And remember, you have the Empress in reverse too. So there's something here about a lack of abundance. Okay, and then we have the, okay, yeah. So as I was saying, that lack of abundance, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Seven of Swords. So there could definitely be an energy here of, you know, you taking a closer look at your finances because of some sort of theft. Because the Seven of Swords is a sneaky, cheating, lying, behind the scenes energy. But don't worry, what's done in the dark will come to the light. And it's like you're taking a closer look, like you're investigating this theft. You're investigating where your money's going. Because maybe you feel like, you know, money is not going where you think it is. So, you know, this is an interesting combination to come up, especially as I was talking about, you know, you not feeling like you have enough resources. It could very well be because they're being taken from you by a person, place, or thing. Maybe it's just your job is not paying you enough. It doesn't have to be a person that's stealing from you. This could be deception, you know, self-deception, especially with the Page of Pentacles there. The Page of Pentacles is usually a new beginning, but we have these three pentacles on the table, so there could be some deception going on at where you work. There could be some deception going on with your coworkers. You know, maybe there's someone's not doing teamwork, but you're not going to be carrying these burdens for much longer, Capricorn, because we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So let's get your last card here so that we can have the entire reading. Now, your reading is a little bit longer, Capricorn. I'm not really sure why that is. But let's get one more card for Capricorn to symbolize how August is, like how the end of August is for Capricorn. This is like the last day of August, basically. But remember, these energies can happen at any time, any place. It just depends on how it resonates. So let's get one final card for Capricorn. It looked like that one. We had the Wheel of Fortune, but it didn't come out. So we'll see if this comes out, but there definitely might be some change happening at the end of August for you guys. There might be some karmic stuff, might be some Jupiter stuff going on there. And I mean, that really makes sense because August is your, I mean, Virgo is your 9th house, and the 9th house is about Jupiter and learning and expanding. So it would make a lot of sense. Okay, we had that 9 of Pentacles come out. So apparently, you know, that Wheel of Fortune matters, but that 9 of Pentacles I was talking about came back up, guys. So there's another opportunity here for us to really come to terms and just be honest with ourselves about, you know, not feeling like we're abundant. Because right side up, yes, this does mean being alone and being able to handle your shit on your own, you know, feeling good, feeling single, feeling like you got all these resources, right? You got these 9 Pentacles. That's almost a 10, right? So it's like pretty good money, right? Pretty good physical environment, pretty good worth. But reverse, this is like not feeling that way. Not feeling like your garden is filled with pinnacles. This is like you feeling like money doesn't grow on trees, you know what I mean? Like, and you are a futuristic thinking sign, Capricorn. So definitely makes sense that that Nine of Pentacles came back out for you again to say that, you know, Capricorn is really going to be focusing on their own resources at the end of the month and where they've been going. Okay, we've got a few cards here in reverse. We've got the majority of your reading is in reverse. Like, all these cards are reversed. And then these are, well, actually, this one is too. The only right side up card you have, Capricorn, is the Death card. And I think that's very symbolic. I think this is symbolic for the transformation you're going through. Like, it's all this stuff on the table that needs to transform. So I'm actually going to make your reading a little significant. You know, it's your emotion, and it's love in your life that needs to transform too. And clarity, and so it has some sort of air sign too. So, you know, you could have very well entered the month of August feeling emotionally drained, or feeling like there was some sort of love opportunity that you failed on, or that you missed out on. Because I did see the Four of Cups a lot for you too, which I kept saying deep contemplation, but I kind of forgot that the Four of Cups talks about a missed opportunity. So some of you guys might feel like you missed an emotional opportunity to express yourself, or maybe you guys literally missed an opportunity to, you know, take this cup. Because right side up, this is a new love coming in. This is emotional healing, a new beginning. This is the universe handing you some sort of love opportunity, or some sort of ability to finally be okay with expressing your emotion. But in reverse, you're not expressing your emotion. This is ultimate drainage. Like, that your love is pouring out, you know, and not in a good way. Like, this is emotionally drained. And it could have to do with the air sign. It could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio that you missed this love opportunity with. But, you know, I don't like seeing the Ace of Cups in reverse, because it does speak of a cup that's pouring out now. You know, you can't pour from an empty cup, Capricorn. So make sure you're taking care of yourself too, and doing what it is to heal your heart. You know, like I was saying with the earth signs, you know, it can get a little bit weird when we try to express ourselves emotionally. And remember, expressing yourself emotionally this month is important because of that Pisces full moon in your third house of communication. So come the end of the month, you're going to have to express yourself emotionally. And it's probably because you're an earth sign, it's going to have something to do with the lack of resources. Like, that's what's ultimately going to push you. That's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, you know, like, you can take anything from me, but you are not going to take my worth, my value, what I work hard for. Like, no. So the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords in reverse, sorry. Definitely an air sign energy in reverse. So there could be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra that things are just not working out with anymore. But, you know, this might not be a person. This could be your energy, Capricorn. This could be you not taking authority over your thoughts. You not taking authority over what you need to speak and communicate. This might be the lack of clarity. Okay, because upright, the Queen of Swords she's definitely in her power. She's leading intellectually, you know, she's trusting her mind. This is not an emotional energy though. You know, this is definitely a platonic energy. Like, the Queen of Swords is even worse than the King of Swords. She's worse than the earth energy. Like, air signs, they're all about what makes sense to them mentally, and something isn't making sense mentally anymore. That might be why the Judgment's in reverse. Like, there's not a second chance being offered here from an air sign or from a water sign. There might be something here about you communicating your emotions for sure. Maybe maybe you don't feel like you're getting the opportunity to communicate your emotions, Capricorn. Maybe you feel like you know something's dead and that you don't have the opportunity to gain clarity. Because whenever we see a sword and a cup like this, it talks about emotional clarity. Swords are clarity. Cups are emotion. So, you know, not only are you being drained, but you have no emotional clarity over the situation. And if I were you, I would definitely not give it a second chance either. Because these doors of opportunity, you've given this so many opportunities, you know. You've given this your all. And, you know, when the Judgment comes up in reverse, it's saying, you know, that there's not going to be the return of Judgment Day this time. For this specific situation, there is no Judgment Day. You know, there's no judgment. Maybe there's someone who's not following their judgment. You know what I mean? Because I just recently kind of started to see the Judgment card as that. Like, what if you're ignoring your judgment? You know, you definitely want to have discernment in this situation with this emotion and with this sword. You know what I mean? Because either way, you're not going to be able to escape this Grim Reaper. I wanted to talk to you about death again, too.
because this is literally death, death, the reaper. Death is here for you in August, Capricorn, here to collect anything about your life that needs to be reborn, anything that's holding you back from transforming completely, you know what I mean? There's definitely a need here to transform, especially emotionally, because we have this with, so some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. The Scorpio is in your reading. Now, for some of you, that doesn't have to be true because you're going through 8th house stuff, which is Scorpio. But I'm seeing this cemetery back here, back behind this Grim Reaper, and it's like there's a lot here. And now it's really interesting what I just seen, because in the regular tarot deck, the Judgment card has an angel in it, and there's these people at the bottom that are in graves, and they're being called. Like, the Judgment card is definitely an awakening card. It's about somebody that was dead, something that was dead that gets called back to life. That's what Judgment Day is about, right? That's when supposedly Jesus comes back and the dead are reawakened, you know what I mean? So this energy is in reverse. So I'm telling you, what's dead is dead, Capricorn, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's certain feelings of yours that are dead, because the Ace of Cups is in reverse. You know what I'm saying? There's just certain people, places, and things that are dead, and what's dead should stay dead, I'm hearing. Because it's time for you to move on to new life. There's something that's not being resurrected. And this is real creepy to come up because you're going through an 8th house transit of death and rebirth. So, there's a resurrection that is not happening. There's an awakening here. Like, there's something that's meant to stay asleep, which is basically stay dead. You know what I mean? The reason why you're not gaining clarity about this is because there is no clarity there. And, I was led to this staircase a minute ago when I showed it to you. You're all about climbing. You're all about persevering and getting to the top. You know what I mean? And so there is, I love this card. It's very heavenly and stuff like that. But it's in reverse for you. And this is a very Pluto energy. So I want you to know that Pluto is really working its magic on you guys. We've got 2 Pluto energies, Scorpio and the Judgment. This is a Scorpio card. So some of you could definitely be dealing with Pluto energies, which is, Pluto works with very dark subconscious forces, very deep emotionally rooted things. It's, Pluto is one of those outer planets, so it's very mysterious. They barely even call Pluto a planet now. So it's very mysterious, and I don't want you to be afraid of this energy, because death is not a scary thing. Death is an illusion, there's nothing dying here. Some of you could be really dealing with certain deaths this month, but the death card usually never means that. It's a metaphorical death. And it's about what goes on to become reborn as a new vibration. But, after going into September, if there's things that are just dead, things that don't have any life in it, if they're cold to the touch, if you just don't feel any life there, then just know that they are dead for good, and that you need it's a funeral, basically, that needs to happen. And then we have the 7 of Cups saying that there was some emotional confusion about this. You had a lot of options. Some of these options were toxic. Some of these options, initiated different emotional responses out of you. You could have been doing some, weighing of the options. But this is an emotionally confused card. Like, this person is very overwhelmed with options. That's why they're shopping for, this is like being confused between, 7 different pairs of shoes or something. You don't really know which ones, because they all make you feel a different way, right? So it could be different people making you feel different ways, but you're coming out of that confusion towards the end. This is when Virgo season is really coming in to ground you, Capricorn. So there's some clarity that you may be gaining over some emotional confusion. We do have 2 cup cards here in reverse. So I know there's some emotional drainage going on, and it's draining you in different ways. There is a cup here filled with money, telling me that Capricorn, can be emotional about their finances and about their dreams and about, there's just certain things here that could potentially be toxic to those. It's interesting how that cup is filled. There's different cups filled with different things. So just know that all these different options were going to lead you different ways, so you're coming out of confusion. We like to see the 7 of Cups in the reverse, because this is you kind of waking up. So it might be that you're resurrected, Capricorn, but the second chance is for transformation. This is sudden endings and beginnings. You know what I mean? We like to see this right side up. So you're becoming less confused about what needs to end and begin, because you're going through this judgment. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles, and we already talked about this card. This is, some of you guys might want to be single and you're not. Some of you guys, you don't want to be single and you are, or something. But this is not a single energy. Like, some of you are actually coupled
but, you know, you're not really feeling like you have the resources that you need to be confident and comfortable in that relationship. And if it's not about, you know, the single energy that this card carries, it's definitely about your own resources, about knowing that even though it's not the 10 of Pentacles, you know, you're working very hard. And, you know, Capricorn, there's always resources around you. You know, you guys are very smart, hard-working people. And money, you know, I know it doesn't grow on trees, but money it's always in circulation. So don't allow that earth energy to ground you in that way. You know, I know earth signs struggle a lot with financial problems. You guys rule the physical realm. So, you know, that can potentially disrupt your peace this month, you know. And we have the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck for this whole reading for you. So the Four of Swords in reverse to me is not a good vibe. You know, there's a need here for you to really rest this month. When this Four of Swords comes up right side up, there's already an urgent need to rest. This is a meditative, very peaceful energy. But in reverse, you're not meditating enough. You're not reflecting enough. You're not resting enough. Like, some of you guys are really overworking yourself. And you're not only going through physical things. You're not just dealing with financial stresses. You're dealing with emotional stresses, relationship problems. Like, your plate is pretty full, and the universe is trying to tell you, please make sure you're taking time out for yourself. And it was very interesting to pull that card up and to reveal the Moon card underneath that. Because we have the Moon. This is the Pisces card. So some of you could be dealing with a significant Pisces or Taurus, or maybe a Taurus moon, which is me, which is cool. But, you know, the Moon to me is the soul. This is the need to do some soul reflecting and to meditate. There needs to be, you know, you need to look yourself in the mirror, Capricorn, because look at this transformation. This woman is transforming from a very old, worn out, beat up version of herself to a more youthful energy, right? And it's interesting I say youth, because there is a cup here that says youth on it, if you can see that. It's this one. This white cup here, there's a youth potion in there. Not sure if you can see that word youth, but it's definitely written on there, I promise. So there's something here. It could even be about your health, I'm not sure, but you're just looking things in the mirror, seeing them for what they are, Capricorn. Secrets coming out. I don't like to say this about the Moon either, but the Moon can sometimes be deception and illusion. But to me, I feel like this is just that full moon at the end of the month. If it is deception, then it's a good thing to see that the Hierophant is in reverse, because you guys aren't committing to anything that's deceiving you. But also, make sure you're not deceiving yourself of time to heal, because your soul is calling out. Your soul definitely needs time to heal, okay? Your mind, this is a mental energy. Your mind, there's a lot going on in your mind, Capricorn. And there's a need here to really, really rest mentally. Take some time out. Do some things behind the scene that just kind of fill you. For you, I'm just going to suggest that you take a walk. You know what I mean? Walks are really good for earth signs. But I love that the Moon card is showing up. That's that Pisces full moon at the end of the month on the 26th. So on that Pisces full moon in your third house, so we've literally got Pisces and swords. So remember, this is your third house, and we have those 3 swords right there above that person's head. So you're really going to need to go behind the scenes. Very important for you to rest around the Pisces full moon. Very important for you to speak your truth around the Pisces full moon, okay? So, you know, there's definitely some energy coming up here with the Moon, Pisces energy, secrets, hidden energy, your soul, needing to reflect, following your intuition. So that came up. There's a Pisces, a Taurus, and a Scorpio that's significant. But your underlying energy is the fact that there's something inside, there's something internal that you need to rest about. There's something you need to reflect about too, and meditate. This is a meditative and intuitive energy. You know, so we've got pentacles, we've got swords, we've got water, but we don't have any fire here. So there's something here about a missing fire element. You know, there needs to be a balance of all 4 elements. And I just see swords and cups and pentacles. I don't see fire. I don't see any fire. So fire is passion. Fire is expression. Fire is warmth. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. So there could be something here about a missing fire sign. Maybe you guys are missing a fire sign that you really want to get back with, but the second chance isn't being offered. There's definitely a second chance that isn't being offered, like maybe from a Scorpio or from some sort of Scorpio. Like, you're going to have to decline any second chances. Like, there's so many retrogrades. A lot of people want to come back from the past right now. But what's dead is dead. You know, the past is dead, just like our exes. So, you know, you want to be careful what you give second opportunities to this month, Capricorn. Because there might be a second opportunity you give to someone anyway, even though this Nine of Pentacles is in reverse, because this is about you not being single anymore. So that's kind of interesting that you come out of being single and you give someone a second chance that you thought it was dead with or something. So it's up to you to follow your own, your own discernment. But what I was going to say is that, there's a need to decline certain people and say no, which should not be a problem for you. You might have to swerve and curve some people because it's all about your transformation right now. What's most important is your transformation. And the fact that you need to focus on what's dead and what's alive. It's time for you to realize, I just got the energy of checking a pulse. Like you need to check the pulse of your life to see if your heart's still beating, to see if there's still blood running through you, and to see what makes you feel alive. Like, what makes you feel alive, Capricorn? Because there's no fire here, and that tells me that there's a missing element of passion. You're not expressing yourself from your heart. So, hopefully this reading helped you. It's a bit long. I just see the end of the month looks a lot like that transformation taking place. Less confused energy. Maybe you finally make a decision about something. Some of you guys are going to come out of being single, though. Maybe you meet somebody. Maybe it's not this new love. Maybe, because I do see there's a new love that is turned down and not a second chance for some of you. Because the emotion is just not there. The clarity is just not there. It's dead. So that's the first half of August. You kind of come into August feeling like that, emotionally drained, but we talked about that. And then you end the month finally stepping into that new version of you, okay? And part of stepping into the new version of you is realizing that there's certain resources missing from your life, and they could be linked to a fire sign. But you definitely need to make sure that you are healing this month and meditating and reflecting and resting, Capricorn. Because there's a lot going on, man. And when you're dealing with 8th house energy, it's very easy to feel dead. But just know that the reason we die is so that we can become reborn. So if there's things ending and dying in your life, just know you're being prepped for basically a resurrection. Something coming back from the dead or something like that. Some kind of zombie energy I just picked up on. But alright, Capricorn. Hopefully this helped you guys. Thank you so much for watching this long video. And if you have any questions, please just comment below. You can shoot me an email, anything like that. But other than that, I will be coming on YouTube for the Pisces full moon. I'll be coming out for a message from that. And I'll, like every moon, I'll pull 12 cards for each of the zodiac for guidance. And then if I don't see you there, though, I will definitely talk to you in September for Virgo season.